We were talking earlier today about the president's town hall meeting in China, and he talked about his inability to use Twitter. Listen why.
Well, first of all, let me say that I have never used Twitter. I notice that young people, they're very busy with all these electronics. My thumbs are too clumsy to type in things on the phone. But I am a big believer in technology, and I'm a big believer in openness when it comes to the flow of information.
I do use Twitter, and that's how I found out that our next guest, it's her birthday today. About 15 different people told us to wish happy birthday to Jay Newton-Small from Time Magazine. Thanks for being here, Jay.
Thank you so much for having me.
We got to start with Sarah Palin. You were up there in July when she made this dramatic announcement that she wouldn't be, she'd be stepping down and not running for re-election. What do you think her play is out of this? What is she looking for? Is she looking for a political rehabilitation? Is she just looking to sell books? What's going on?
I think it's clearly a campaign move in many ways. I mean, she's riding around the country on a bus, with her image painted on it. It's very, the states that she's hitting. She's going to Iowa. That's no coincidence. They're almost all swing states that she's going through. So certainly it's the first step. And I think that she's trying to find a path to a nomination. And I don't know that she knows that it's there yet, but she's certainly exploring it. And she's definitely the one superstar that the Republican Party has right now.
There's no doubt about her desire, but you talk about that path. You cannot get there if 60% of the country, between 60 and 70% of the country, think you're not qualified for the job. And might this book, which seems to have a lot of score settling in it, be somewhat misguided in what you're talking about there in terms of finding a path back to political rehabilitation?
Well, I mean, I disagree with you in some ways, David, because they're not, look, she's looking for a path to the Republican nomination, and amongst Republicans, she's incredibly popular, and then we're talking about the base here. Yes, if she were to run for president today, she would lose, absolutely, because she can't appeal to moderates or independents, but if you're just talking about Republicans, I think if you held the Iowa caucuses today, she has a pretty good shot of winning them.
Wait, let me just wait, I'm sorry, Rick, 1 second, but the Iowa caucuses is not the entire nomination fight. You think that if her numbers are still 60% unqualified to say she's unqualified for this job, that the Republican nominating electorate throughout the whole process would still put her as their nominee?
No, I think, look, that's part of what this book tour is going towards addressing is her likability, is her knowledge, of the issues. I think a lot of the book is spent on biographical, background and information, issues that are important to her. I think the whole last chapter reads like a campaign stump speech about where she wants to take the country and how she changed things. So.
Jay, is no shortage of score settling in this book, and if you saw the interview with Oprah today, and we're going to have a lot more with Barbara Walters as the week goes on, but the Oprah interview today, she seemed really angry with Levi Johnston and is engaging kind of point by point, saying he's appearing in porn now, and I feel bad for him. I'm praying for him. I wonder, from this perspective, does all of that celebrity aspect of Sarah Palin, does that do her any favors to engage with a Levi Johnston at this stage?
It's always been one of her weaknesses is the fact that she engages these, not just Levi Johnston, but also these bloggers. And I remember when I was out there interviewing her in July, her spokeswoman sort of said to me, look, you'd be amazed for the first time, the days after she resigned from being governor, she actually, had a Google alert on, for every single thing. Every mention of her on the internet was going directly into her personal email, and she was responding to these bloggers, and that just elevates the bloggers. It elevates Levi for her to respond to him, and she needs someone to say to her, look, you can't talk to these people and you can't engage with them because it just makes it worse.
Massive challenge for you, Jay. We have about 45 seconds left, but I want to touch on healthcare before we let you go. We're awaiting this CBO score up there. How critical is this CBO score, and when do you expect it to come?
I hear it's expected tomorrow, actually, from Senate leadership. It's a very critical score. If it comes in at, like the House bill, $1.2 trillion, that's really bad. You want it under $1 trillion. You want it more like under $900 billion. The Senate Finance Committee score was well under $800 billion, and so the lower the number, the better it is. And then once we've got that on, we're looking at a motion to proceed, which they'll have to get 60 votes to overcome later in the week.
So put you on the spot. Is there going to be a bill before Christmas?
Very difficult.
Very difficult. It looking increasingly unlikely, and that Thanksgiving deadline, Thanksgiving's really close now. Forget about that. If they're just starting now, we're talking weeks and weeks.
Yeah, totally. I mean, look, you've got all these major issues that the House punted on,
right,
like immigration reform. You've got now the Stupak amendment on abortion. What are they going to do with the public plan? They still don't have the votes.
Right.
Lieberman's saying he's going to filibuster. So there's a lot of really huge issues to get through.
All right, Jay Newton-Small, Time Magazine, and again, happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Jay. Thank you so much for being with us. And everyone, be sure to tune in to Good Morning America tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern, for Barbara Walters' interview with Sarah Palin. That does it for this edition of Top Line. Be sure to click us on again tomorrow.